We live, baby.
Yo, welcome back to the row. It's been a long hiatus.
Yes,
No, this
sir.
isn't my house. I don't own that many books, but we are kicking it off. We are back. We're here to talk about UFC 300. We're here to talk about the Masters. We're here to talk about the NBA play-ins. You already know. Welcome back to the row. Welcome, Hotz Heads. Welcome, Dreamers. Welcome, my co-host, Zac Band Dreamer, the best in the business. Let's get this shit fucking going. I'm so excited.
Likewise, my boy John Hotz over there repping the Mets, I see, even though they're – anyway, we'll keep it moving here. But welcome all you Sixers, all you Hotz heads, all you Dreamers. You know, it's been a minute. We had 70 episodes released in audio on SoundCloud previously before this shit was cool. But here we are. Now we're streaming with the video, and now I can actually hear myself on YouTube right now in the background. See, we're getting all the kinks out the way right now, but we're here, we're locked, we're setting the table, and I think that this is going to be one of our. So keep it locked, and we're going to be here,
and we're going to murder this shit. And just to be clear, we're still not cool, even though
that's right. As you can see, I don't even know the intro.
Cool,
there's no intro. What's an intro?
Cool,
I'm gonna play my voice. Everyone, keep it locked.
Hey.
Coming in here, we're gonna get it started. You know, we got a lot to talk about here. We got the UFC, we got the Masters.
We should go. Tournament. We saw Dante DiVincenzo there. The Villanova Knicks are the 2 seed, and speaking of the 2 seed, we know I feel the biggest play-in matchup is the Heat and the Sixers.
100%.
For that 7 seed, or the 8 seed, either playing the Knicks or playing the other play-in winner to end up for the rights to play the Celtics.
100%.
Now, in my opinion, real quick, being in the Philadelphia area now, I've seen a lot of the Sixers this year, and my dog is going crazy. We're working out the kinks. But seeing a lot of the Sixers this year, I think they are a bad matchup for the Knicks with Embiid healthy. I think the big man inside is going to give them a lot of trouble, as he does everyone. Maybe this injury is a blessing in disguise, fresh legs. But what do you think?
Man, you say the Sixers. Okay, so let's take it here for a second. Which team between the Sixers and the Heat do you think has had more hours logged against the Knicks? Got to be the Heat.
Yeah, it has to be the Heat for sure. I think that the Heat at full strength are also, a tough matchup, but I just think the Knicks are that level this year where they're a step above.
Sure.
And, I think that playing the Heat in the playoffs is usually a bad thing. But this year, I think the Sixers with Maxey, elevating to that level and Embiid being who he is a worse matchup for the Knicks.
It's interesting. Maxey's an X factor for sure. I think Tobias Harris is a guy that can play well a couple of the games, and then a couple of games he'll be the guy that just disappears, and you'll wonder if he's on the team. Embiid, is he going to stay healthy throughout the whole series? That wear and tear Knicks defense, that's a question mark for sure. And the other thing here that we're kind of slighting here is how well the Heat play in Madison Square Garden. I think that's a big problem. I think the Jimmy Butler is not afraid of the Knicks. I think the Heat culture are not afraid of the Knicks. And I think Spoelstra is a way better coach than Philadelphia's coach. So, I think
I might push back a little there on Nick Nurse's coaching level. The guy is an NBA champion. He has shown a lot of.
He's an East Coast guy, so I like Nurse.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't say way better coach with Spoelstra, but I would say a better, maybe like a slight advantage. But I'm not going to be like trash Nick Nurse. You're like, oh yeah, he's way better than the 76ers.
Without a Kawhi Leonard front rim little whatever shot in Game 7 that he just hawked at the rim. Yeah, we're talking about Philly being in that finals and maybe winning a championship. And
that game was tied, so it wasn't like it was over for Philly if you missed.
For sure, but
and then also But also, you could say that about almost any championship run that wasn't dominant. Like, oh, there's one moment that if this went the other way.
Also, the Warriors team was decimated. You know, these other things. But anyway,
Yeah.
Nick Nurse, you're talking about his background and his accolades versus a guy like Spoelstra, who's taken multiple types of teams to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, I mean, he's taken maybe 2 different types of teams. He's taken the LeBron team.
Well, he did he was on the staff though with Pat Riley, so he saw how it was done.
Yeah, no, I think Solskjaer's a good coach. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I just didn't want you literally just said then the 76ers coach and like didn't even
Yeah. No, you're right.
He's
an
NBA champion head coach
right.
who like had to grind his way up, has like won championships in the G League. Like, he's a grinder I think Nick Nurse from Doc Rivers is a huge difference in the Sixers teams going into this playoffs, because you want to talk about a way better coach than someone else. Nick Nurse has a way bigger gap from Doc Rivers. I don't care if he won the championship with the Celtics than Eric Spoelstra does from Nick Nurse.
The question will be, how healthy is Embiid and how will the other guys play? Because you mentioned Maxey, right?
Oh, yeah, he's terrific.
And he's terrific. You talk about there's a huge fall off in skill on this roster. This roster is not what it used to be. Beyond Tobias Harris and Maxey, it's ugly out here. We're talking about guys that don't play defense like Buddy Hield and Oubre. Well, Oubre's a decent defender, but he's a decent defender from a wing perspective, but, he's a decent defender. Kyle Lowry is over the hill. He can play some minutes, and he'll be a guy that maybe can affect the game in spots and spurts because he's so annoying and pesty and knows the game, and he has so much experience. But short of that, that's where it ends. Talk about guys like Paul Reed who have to maybe fill some shoes and step into a new take that next step to be a playoff contender. We're talking about winning a series here, and the Knicks, the Knicks have handled Philly during the regular season this year. So
with Embiid out a lot of time, and also you got to look into
Gordon Brunson
going over their roster, and Oubre is their third best player. Like, who is the Knicks' third best player?
So I would say probably DiVincenzo.
So you're talking about DiVincenzo versus a guy like Oubre, or versus a guy like Tobias Harris, or versus a guy like, even Kyle Lowry's been playing real well for them actually down the stretch.
There are guys though on the Knicks that have taken that step, I would say. Would you not agree?
Yeah, but if we're talking about a
big step.
Yeah, even Tobias Harris isn't even that good, but I'm just saying, like, compared to DiVincenzo, like we're gonna see like, Tobias Harris is like the highest paid player to never make an All-Star team in history.
He's another Chandler Parsons type. He's had a couple good years. He was a decent. He's just stealing money from the league.
He's nothing special. He's just good. He's just regular good. Like, he could give you 15 and 10. Maybe 18.
He's above the cut line of the Supermax contracts, or the guys that get extensions and shit like that.
He was a free agent at the right time for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys making bread out in the league that are just kind of.
I got the Sixers in the play-in to play the Knicks, and we'll see how that goes. Who do you got?
I'm gonna take the Heat. I just feel like their playoff experience, and I just feel like they want the Knicks. I feel like they want to crack at the Knicks, and that's their incentive big time. So I would say I'm going to take the Heat. Now, let's move to the other one, though. I want to move to the Bulls and the Hawks, too.
Yeah, just to put a bow on it, I think we're both right in the sense of both of them really want the Knicks. Nobody wants to play the Celtics.
That's correct. That's 100% correct.
I think this game is very, very important first round wise.
Absolutely. I think the team that wins this can, in theory, go on a run in the East to represent the East in the NBA Finals. Yeah, that's what we're talking about right now, for real. Yeah,
for a 7 and 8 seed matchup, it's about as important as it gets. But
absolutely, and also the West, similar atmosphere, which we'll get to in a second. But
leave that off right now.
Yeah, let's. You want to get into that right now?
Yeah.
Fuck it, let's do it.
7-8, 7-8.
That's what people want to hear about: the Pelicans and the Lakers. This is a matchup.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I think LeBron, as much as I don't really like him as a person, like, he's still going for 25, 8, and 7. He's still really fucking good.
Can we have a conversation about LeBron for a couple seconds here?
Yeah, sure. Do your thing.
3 years, 3 times in 4 years, play-in tournament, missed the playoffs as well.
Yeah. That's what you want. Can we talk about LeBron James?
I mean, are we acknowledging that? Like, that's bad. No,
Yeah,
can I be clear? That if you're the best player in the game,
well, he's not, though, but I don't think anyone would put him in the top really.
3.
Nah, I don't think so.
Really?
I think you got to absolutely go Jokic for sure, Embiid for sure, Doncic for sure, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for sure.
You're trying to win a 7-game series, though. You taking all those guys besides, I mean, remove Jokic, but you taking the rest of those guys over LeBron?
Yeah, and I just think LeBron in the playoffs, like he can always get numbers, and you could always look at the series after and be like, oh man, LeBron put up these numbers.
He's been a number. I'm not saying that's
easy.
He's 6'9", 260, and he runs like a gazelle. He's gonna get his number.
Yeah. But that when you look at it, like in terms of if you watch the games and break them down, he has a history of in the fourth quarter not performing or at least not taking over. Like I trust Jokic, Doncic, Gilgeous-Alexander, Embiid. Maybe not. Embiid is the one where you could poke holes in my argument.
Also, SGA in the playoffs is going to have a problem when the paint starts getting packed on him, and he's going to have to be a knockdown shooter. He will have to knock down more.
I think he's going to knock down shots. There's nothing that leads me to believe that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I'm going to say SGA from now on, it's a mouthful.
No, you're good.
He won't continue to rise. Like he just does everything right. Everything
his game is near perfect, flawless.
Yeah.
He's a flawless player.
Elite. He is absolutely.
He just needs the 3-point shot.
And I brought this up to you before. Like his answers, everything he does is just clean. Like
counters to counters to counters to counters. Yeah. He's going to counter you every time.
On the court and off the court, he just delivers. He just is everything I want my superstar player to do, he does. So I can't sit here and be like, I'd rather have LeBron in a 7-game series. I wouldn't. Right now in this time period, obviously not prime LeBron, dropping 25 points in a row.
Sure.
But right now, give me SGA. I mean, you could even argue Tatum. You could argue Steph Curry. You could argue
Tatum's not in that category. You talk about those fourth quarter stats. His are some of the worst. So
he's had some big ones too in the playoffs last year. He had that monster 40-something point game. I think Jason Tatum is just below like the fucking man. Like just being like the fucking. He just has one thing, and I think it might be like off the court intangible thing. Like he's missing a little of what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has, and
I think Tatum thinks who the fuck he is a little bit. I think I've heard some interviews and some quotes from him and some quotes from him that make me think that's not like a random assessment. I also think that like there are legit stats out there. I believe it's something around 12 of 36 from the field, something like 36% in the final 5 minutes of basketball games. Something like he shoots in the 20% when it comes to 3-pointers in the final 5 minutes of a basketball game. Some stats that like I don't know them specifically, but I know for a fact that where I'm talking right now is factual. That he is not on the.
Maybe just try to find something to pull up real quick.
I'm about to just type in Tatum stats. Watch this, ready? I got it right now. So while I'm looking this up, though, do you think Tatum is in the category clears SGA? He clears SGA. You're saying?
No. I'm saying if he needs someone, he's the next down. I think he's like a step up from being in like the category as the best player or top 3 player in the league. He's like one step down from there. But I also think LeBron is one step down from a top 3 player in the league right now. To be fair,
that's nuts. They went to the Western Conference Finals last year, did they not?
Yeah, I mean, but we're talking about Tatum, who's been to the finals, the Eastern Conference Finals, like the last 3 years. I want to say he's at least made the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay.
So
Jason Tatum, let's see here. Let's see. 30. Pierce was 34%, Kobe 25%, Melo was all these players. It's crazy. You can look up like.
Well, also I figured like shots at the end of the game are going to be lower than normal percentages.
Also, it's not even just the other thing about Tatum. The one thing I also want to say about this before I get into like the stats and it's just stats, but the other thing about Tatum is the attempts he takes. He's a jump shooter at the end of the game. He rarely goes to the rack and he ends up bailing himself out on jumpers. That is what speaks to this percentage too. So, and a lot of the weight was on his shoulders in the beginning of his career to take those shots, to be clear.
Yeah.
Like it was hit. The keys were handed to him within 5 minutes of him being there. So he was forced to take a lot of those shots. So his percentages, if we took it within scope of the last 2 years versus the last 5 years or his whole playoff career, like
it's tough to hang your hat on something.
It was 34%, by the way. That was the
34. But like I'm sure, like you said, you're reading off other players who are low there. It's a weird time. It's a small sample size. Down to like 25 shots total. You know what I mean? So it's hard to be like hang an argument on it. But getting back to the Pelicans and the Lakers.
Getting back to the Pelicans and the Lakers here. Sorry, that was me that took us adrift.
No, you're fine. I'm glad we went on that journey. But what I want to say is, or I want to ask you is, who do you favor in that game and why?
In that game, I like the Pelicans, and it's simply because of the roster and the way Zion's been playing. If they had Brandon Ingram, this would be a Western Conference finals contender, 100%. Like, there's nothing that makes me doubt that in my mind. Like, this roster has all the potential in the world of being that level. There's a lot of players on this team that people don't know. I would say like a guy like Herbert Jones, the masses might not know, but he affects the game. Valanciunas is a solid big, but when you talk about McCollum and Williamson, Zion being that duo, I just feel like that's better than anything the Lakers can throw right now. I mean, unless AD goes Super Saiyan.
I was just about to say.
AD is the best player in the series, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I'm going to go with the Lakers, and because of Anthony Davis, because I think he does have that game in him where he could just be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get 40 with 17 rebounds and 6 blocks.
And just destroy the game. And then also hold Zion to whatever, and make their life a living hell as well.
He'll let Zion get wherever he wants and still have a good chance at blocking the shot. Like, he doesn't even really have to worry about position because he's so much taller and has so much longer arms than Zion Williamson. As big and strong as he is, he could almost reach over at almost any angle and affect the shot. Maybe not block every single one, obviously, but block a couple, affect
Well, guess what? Since we both are genuinely recording, and this was recorded at an earlier date, I can actually tell you who won the game.
Oh, really?
The Lakers won the game.
Oh, I was right. Hell yeah.
You were right. 100% you were right. And you know who? Let's see who went off. Let's see what happened.
If Anthony Davis had 40 points, 17 rebounds, and 6 blocks, no one's going to believe that was real.
15 rebounds, 20 points, 3 blocks. I shit you not.
So about half of what I said, except
about half of what you said. LeBron went 6-20 and they won the game.
Yeah. Well, the Pelicans, I think that CJ McCollum and Zion are beasts, and they do have some other nice pieces. But I just think, you hit the nail right on the head at the beginning. Without Brandon Ingram, that's their, kind of guy.
Zion had 40.
Damn, that's crazy. I wouldn't expect
40 and 11 with 5 assists, shooting a high percentage, 17 of 27, and they lost that game.
Yeah. What was the score? Final score?
110 to 106.
Wow, good game. Wish I watched it.
So now the Pelicans are waiting for the winner of the 9-10. I'm correct?
No, the Pelicans lost. Yeah, so they're playing the winner of the 9 and 10 game to see who plays.
So the 9-10 game is a very interesting game too, which is also on tonight. It's playing right now, which is the Kings and the Warriors.
Well,
so just to give you some insight, the Kings are up by 13 early in the second quarter.
All right. Even with that information, I'm still going to go Warriors. If you got your phones on you, hit that live bet button right now. Warriors plus whatever they're giving you. Put a unit on it. Thank me later.
That's pretty fire. Honestly, that's pretty fire to give a live bet out like that. It's still a 13-point game. I'm going to say the Warriors win the game too. I was at the Knicks-Kings game, and the Kings, this roster – there are guys on this team that are underperforming. Let's just call it what it is. Keegan Murray has not stepped into the shoes that everyone keeps fucking saying that he has the capabilities of doing. Just another pretty boy that looks like he has all the game and has the pretty shot, but he can't do shit. He's a brick. He is a brick. He's a walking brick. And it happened against the Knicks, the game I was at, and it happened a couple nights later. And then he goes for 25, and you're like, oh, it's Keegan Murray. Oh, he's so nice. He's so good. The other guy that chokes in the fourth is Sabonis.
Wow.
Sabonis is a choker in the fourth. He fouls. He's a hacker. He fouls. He gets offensive fouls. He's sloppy. He's a very good basketball player. awesome basketball player. I think he leads the league in triple doubles, or he's second, something stupid like
double doubles for sure.
Well, and triple doubles. No, double doubles he leads for sure.
Yeah,
triple doubles is the crazy stat that he's now entered himself into.
Wow.
Like,
that's wild. I knew he's like the double king. Like he broke that record.
One hot second. League leaders in triple doubles.
I know he broke
I didn't
the
realize
record.
this too. I think I heard it like I don't know.
He broke
Sabonis
the record.
Leads the league. Sabonis leads the league. He has 26. Jokic has 25.
That's insane. And I know he broke the record for consecutive double doubles too this year.
That's insane.
Like 50-something games in a row, he had a double-double. I'm not even joking.
I'm not.
I'll look that up real quick.
No hate against Sabonis. I would take him on the Knicks. Hell yeah. Give me him over Randall every day and Sunday, just for the record. But
I would hope so. Over Julius Randle.
There's some Julius Randle lifers out there, like our boy Mano, who I don't know if he would take that. So, but Sabonis is real. But be clear, in the fourth quarter, the only guy they have is Fox. He's the only guy that really, and Monk can hit some shots. Monk is underrated in the fourth too.
How many double doubles do you think Sabonis had this year?
Double doubles. 7. Okay, they probably had like 55. Up?
Yeah, up.
What? How many? 60s?
73. He broke the record for double doubles in a season. He broke Hakeem Olajuwon's record with his 73rd double double.
Okay, that's nuts.
That's an insane. That's a double double 8 out of every 9 nights you take the court.
Does he clear his dad?
Oh, I mean, he has to be past his dad in double doubles.
Are we? No. I mean, as a player, are we done there?
Sure, yeah. I mean,
really,
I'm a big Sabonis
guy. Was nice.
He was like the original. Like I remember,
he's the original Jokic. If you know basketball, yeah.
I heard something recently that someone said like, "Oh, Michael Jordan had the best European basketball player in the world at that time with Tony Kukoc," and I was like, "All right, you just tell me you don't know basketball without telling me you don't know basketball."
Petrovic clears
Sabonis, K.DOT, Petrovic. The other Croatian guy who played for the Celtics.
Kirk.
Yeah. It was just so ridiculous. I was like, first off, Sabonis was the first name that came to my head. He was like the first.
Ginobili over Kukoc. Fuck we on. Like,
well, he wasn't in the league when Jordan was.
As an overall player, like when it's all said and done, like Tony had some nice years, but give me Manu.
No, it's one of those guys trying to argue LeBron over Jordan, and he's saying like,
I got it. I got the angle. Yeah. Loading up the roster.
But either way, we know this game's going on right now. We both are taking the Warriors to come back. We have one more play-in game that we haven't mentioned yet in the Eastern Conference. What do you think about that one?
I mean, it's fuck Trey Murray for all time, so I'm rooting for the Bulls. I'm a Knicks fan, so the guy was like spitting and stuff, and he's just gross. And he's a nasty basketball player, and he's awesome. So if I'm just picking with my brain, I probably would lean the Hawks just because the Bulls, I don't know. The Bulls are just whack. Vucevic is just whack.
DeJounte Murray is on like the Steve Buscemi lipstick list, like people to kill.
Yeah, definitely. I hate DeJounte Murray for sure. Yeah, absolutely. He's definitely on that list of guys that are just like what you could be, and you're just
real quick to go off on a tangent. I know that Trae Young plays the worst defense in the NBA, but he's been 25-10 for the past 2 seasons and didn't make the All-Star team both years. And that's like never happened to anyone else.
Who's making it in front of him?
Like Jaylen Brown this year made it in front of him, averaging like 25 and 5.
Boston has the number 1 record. Atlanta's in last, right?
Well, not last. They're in the play-in.
Well, yeah, now, but at the time when the All-Star.
Yeah, I don't think they were in last in the East.
Probably probably not good is the point.
East has the Pistons, the Wizards. They're definitely not last. But I'm just saying, 25-10 back-to-back years to not go to the All-Star game.
Yeah.
He is the worst defender in the NBA. Don't get me wrong. The worst. Number 1 agent of bad defense. But there's no defense being played in the NBA regular season anyway. So how are we going to put like a high priority? Like you can't make the All-Star team when you're dropping.
He's also been out. He's going to be out for this game. I'm pretty sure, right? I think he's been out and he's going to be out for this game. So I just think roster-wise, the Bulls are going to win. They just have a better roster with DeRozan and Caruso and Vucevic and Kobe White.
I'm just going to keep going against you, I guess, besides the Warriors. I'm going to take –
You're taking the Hawks with Bogdanovich and Murray?
Yeah, I'm taking the Hawks.
All right, cool. I'll take the Bulls, even though the Bulls are ass too. They're both ass, to be clear.
I was going to say,
favorite player of both these teams is Kobe White.
I'm only taking the Hawks because you were so like bullish, no pun intended, on the Bulls. And I'm like, this guy's really selling the Bulls really hard. Like the Bulls suck, dude. Like,
Bulls suck so bad.
Bulls are terrible, but
I'm also a DeRozan fan. I like give me some DeMar DeRozan on my team. Like I like DeMar DeRozan.
This is what the play-in does to us. We're talking about two terrible teams right now.
Absolutely.
That have zero chance of winning the championship.
All right. Yeah, we're done with the play-in. Honestly, really put this on ice. The fucking play-in is a joke. And this idea, in my opinion, from where I'm from, this fucking idea that we should just be including everyone. Everyone needs a participation trophy to get into the fucking playoffs. Yes, there's positives. I'm not dumb, viewers. I know that it allows people that have injuries during the season or teams that have injuries during the season to allow them to get to a spot of maybe making the playoffs because they have a couple good guys that kept them afloat all year and now they can make that run. And this play-in gives them an opportunity to show and prove that. Yeah. But you shouldn't have to play 72 games for it to all come down to 1 week like it's fucking football.
Not 72 games, that's less than double Sabonis had. You mean 82.
Whatever, 82 games, whatever the fuck the regular season is.
I'll put a bow on it like this. Arguments against, now we have 66.6% of teams making the playoffs in the NBA, which is ridiculous, 20 out of 30. Arguments for, it's more basketball to watch.
It's like another regular season on another regular season on another the in-season tournament in December. Yeah. How much inconsequential basketball that doesn't mean shit to anybody are we gonna fucking watch? Like, my God, I get it.
We already spent too much time talking about it.
Oh fuck! All right, let's keep moving. Let's talk about the UFC, bro. This shit was incredible.
I mean, I'm gonna wax poetic for a second here.
Do it.
You know, I've watched the UFC a long time. I'm a day one of the Ultimate Fighter series coming out on Spike. I remember the moment my cousin told me about it. That's how much the UFC has affected my life. And this was the greatest night of fights that I've ever seen.
Wow.
It really had everything. And I locked in from the very first fight of the night to the very last one, just fanning out. We were talking off air briefly about it. They played to the old school fans using the music from the Ultimate Fighter intro from back in the day when they were still on Spike TV. They were playing the song, "Face the pain, no escape when you step to this." They had the Roman Coliseum intro with the gladiator putting on his armor from the old pay-per-views when I first used to get them. We're talking UFC 52. We're talking UFC 58, USA versus Canada, George St. Pierre versus BJ Penn. And I, as a lifetime fan, just watching that card, everyone fighting for the extra bonus money Dana White put on the table, besides Aljamain Sterling, but we won't talk about that. Everyone laying it out there, fighting beautiful fights, crazy finishes, technique, everything you could want was displayed, just super high level.
What were you referring to with the Sterling? That was the unanimous decision. Talk to me about that. What were you just kind of...
He's just like the one guy who wasn't fighting to like put on a show. He just like controlled, wrestled, used his grappling.
Just dominated each round 30-27, 30-27, 30-27.
Like very just rounds, won the fight and against a tough opponent. On any other night, you're kind of like, okay, good work. But on UFC 300, when everyone else is laying everything on the line,
kind of got to lay it out there a little bit more is what you're saying, kind of like...
Could have, besides that one, could have been a fight on the night on another card, and I'm sure there'll be more bonuses handed out, but we have to talk about the primary bonus winner, which is Max Holloway going up in weight class for the bad motherfucker belt. And he was a bad motherfucker, taking on Justin Gaethje, one of the best, hardest hitting, fiercest leg kicks, just went toe to toe, put on an absolute masterclass for 4 rounds, 50 seconds, was up 3 rounds to 1. Then decides to point in the center of the octagon, meet me right here, and let's swing with Justin Gaethje, an absolute headhunter. And for them to go toe-to-toe for 10 seconds, for Max to catch him with a perfect right hand.
459. Stupid.
I've never seen Justin Gaethje go out like that. We've seen him TKO'd, beaten down methodically.
Right.
That night. But he got flatlined on his face. And I've never seen Max Holloway really knock anyone out cold like that. Besides, Korean Zombie was close, but not really. But just that fight was just – I'm still juiced from that fight. I went to the gym the next day.
I'm not even – I want to give the fans and the viewers and the Sixers a little insight here, as they know about me probably at this point. I am not the biggest UFC guy. I keep track, here and there when Conor McGregor was popular, all this different shit, Ronda Rousey, blah, 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 blah. I dabble in it. Obviously, I stay up. I try to stay, with the news. Hotz was, clamoring about this card and saying, you guys need to tune in. And I was like, all right, I have no excuse. I'm on the West Coast. Like, this shit is like at a normal hour. Like, I have no excuse not to throw this on right now and see what this is about. I even made my fiance throw it on with me, and we were watching together. And bro, when Holloway knocked him out, I screamed. Like, and I'm not even into shit like this. Like, it felt like I was watching old school boxing. I know that sounds crazy maybe, but like the both of them duking it out in the center. Like, I have seen lots of boxing. I love boxing. Boxing's great. Boxing's a great sport. It's a lot more of a pastime, I feel like, in our country. Obviously, UFC's way more of a newer brand. But bro, what they took it to was the yard. That's what it felt like. And he could have easily probably sewn it up, Holloway. He probably had it sewn up if he just played it smart. No question?
Yeah, no, it was over. It was going to be 4 rounds to 1. He could have easily.
Players
would do that, but
they took it to the yard. And
he did the opposite of Aljamain Sterling. He took all the risk, said "fuck it," and I'm just going to go for it right now.
Craziest thing, bro. Awesome. It's respectable. It's also just like it's the ultimate. It's the ultimate.
Yeah, no, I mean that fight was already incredible. Like I said, a masterclass, the best Max Holloway's ever fought, and he's been an amazing fighter forever. To see him put on a performance like that and then cap it off the way he did was nothing short of spellbinding. I immediately bought a shirt from his website. Like, it was one of those. Like, and to cap this off about this fight, I had a parlay that finished with Justin Gaethje. I had Justin Gaethje straight, and I still was just having the time of my life.
It was too much.
I lost most of my bets, we'll say, to be nice. And I still had the best night. And I usually win. Like, I do really well at UFC. I got creamed, but I didn't even care. That's how beautiful this card was. And I think the next thing we should hit on it was the main event, which was Alex
Pereira and Hill. For sure.
Jamal Hill for the championship. Pereira defending. Hill coming back from a long-term injury. Again, like I said, my reads were off this night. I kind of liked Hill. He's the biggest guy Pereira's ever fought.
Yeah, he looked a step slower. He just looked his juice. You could kind of tell pre-fight his juice was a little less than Pereira's. Pereira came in with those trunks, and it felt like
the lowest common denominator is that Alex Pereira is a kickboxing goat.
For sure.
There's no one who could. The only person who could stand with him is Adesanya, is because Adesanya is also a kickboxing goat, But no one else is going to be able to stand. And if you hear people going into a fight with Alex Pereira saying, I'm not going to try to take him down, bet on Alex Pereira every time, because he is the hardest hitting striker I've ever seen. That wasn't even a hard punch. It
didn't look like he caught all of them.
Just like a sharp left straight. It was not like overhand. It was just like a bink and doom. He's just out cold. One shot. That dude is. And the easiest thing about it was he got hit in the nuts. The ref comes over and he's just like, nah, bro. I'm good.
He shook off the ref.
I know. I think the ref is supposed to be like, no, he hit you. But if Alex Pereira tells you, nah, back up, like, it doesn't matter if you're the ref, the president, the fucking governor, the general, you listen to Alex Pereira. Like, what he says goes. He's the baddest man in the room. And it looked like the ref reacted like that. Like, oh, yeah, okay, you're fine, okay. Like, you're probably supposed to still intervene if you see a foul. But
Herb Dean. I mean, it just felt like Herb Dean didn't know what to do. He was literally standing there when he got pushed back, and he was being told, like, don't, like, after I just literally clearly hit him in the nuts. He was like, nah. Herb was probably like, this guy's a fucking psychopath.
I was imagining that he probably was like, no, I have an opening here. Like, he saw, like, the combination, and he was like, no.
Do you think that what's his name? Hill. Do you think Hill thought that the fight was he was gonna get a warning and the shit was gonna stop for a second there?
No, I think he still was defending himself. I don't think it was like a thing where he dropped his hands.
Anything at all dropped? Anything?
Because Jamal Hill also saw Alex Pereira shoot him off and saw her like her. It wasn't like he shoot him.
It wasn't like from the side, like some kind of like
swing.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess that's true.
He was defending himself, but either way, it was more like I said, like.
Weird though that it happened. That happens, and then he just squares him up, and
It's because, like I said, I think he saw the combination he was about to throw, got kicked in the nuts. The ref tried to break it up, and he was like, no, I know what I'm going to throw. Don't stop it here, because if we reset, he might not be in the same stance, whatever angle.
He had that. I see what you're saying.
So he's like, the feeling of what. I have him right where I want him, like kind of situation. But that was unreal. That was quick.
I mean, and I know that like there's a whole fan base that's probably like, yo, you paid for this fight, and like it ends in round 1, like this is the main event. But let's be clear, okay? Let's be clear. We got a legendary fight. The BMF fight was fucking legendary. All right. Ridiculous. You got your money's worth.
It's not like boxing where you only want to see the main event. Like
exactly. That's the one thing too. The Zhang and Yan fight was good too, to be clear. Zhang's a fucking animal.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to talk about next, going right into
Zhang's shoulders, the way she sits, like you got it. Bo Nickel had a good fight. There's a lot of good fights that happened. So when you say the main event was only 1 round, I just want to dead that. And that was
it was an awesome knockout. It's not like it was it wasn't like a
and he and the shrug off of the nut shot, and this guy just gets knocked the fuck out. That's dope.
The crazy thing about the Wei fight, which again, another thing, I've been watching UFC a long time, and I thought that if like someone went unconscious, even if the round ends and they didn't tap, that's the end of the fight. Like I was like,
that was nuts.
That was crazy.
She was unconscious and she was able to stand up and then regain her composure or whatever the fuck, her consciousness, and be able to continue that fight for another. How long was it? Probably like another round and a half.
No, it was like another. That was the first round. It went another 20 minutes.
Then another 2 rounds.
It went 4 rounds. His championship is 5 rounds.
You're fucking.
So and in the second round, she was getting destroyed on the ground too.
That's
almost
fucking insane.
And then in the third round, she knocked down Weili Zhang. It's just like, holy shit. It's crazy to see like 2 females from China in a championship fight. There's probably like 3 females from China in the UFC. Like the fact that they elevated their sport, women's MMA, over there to that point is pretty amazing in and of itself.
Unbelievable.
It was a great fight. And it had to follow Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, impossible.
Obviously,
following Beatles.
There's no way it's like following fucking, Jerry Seinfeld in his prime. But
you're following the best artists of all time.
They did their very best to keep, because there was such an emotional dump after that. I was like, I can't take 2 more fights.
But the high that everyone went on. Everyone went to the top of the mountain, and then boom, the fucking.
It was almost like a movie. Like it was like there was a climax and then falling action, like a rising action, like rising action.
It was like a movie. It was like a movie.
And then Oliveira and Arman, which is also a wild fight. Arman Sarukian proving himself as a young man. He's been in the UFC for a long time for his age, and his first fight was against the champ, Islam Makhachev, on short notice, and he went to a decision. Like, not many people get to a decision with Islam Makhachev. Not many people take a fight with him on short notice. Not many people give him.
Talking about Arman right now?
Yeah. So his very first UFC fight was against.
I saw some articles that said that he could have. That some people thought Charles won the fight.
Yeah, I mean it was a close fight. Charles had some good submissions locked in, but I mean, one judge even gave it to Charles. But I mean, if I'm watching that fight, I give it to Arman. I think he controlled most of it. He did more damage. He had him bloodied up. He was on top, winning the fight, in my opinion. Yes, Charles had some good submissions. He almost had him, in some chokes at the end of the rounds. But if you're not finishing a submission, I'm not counting it like a knockdown. It's like, because a lot of times you'll sit in a submission for a long time, and the only defense is patience. You kind of have to wait. So just because you're holding a choke a long time, that actually means it's not a good choke, because you should be able to choke them out in 10 to 15 seconds. So if they're sitting in the choke,
I would say like Kayla Harrison did to Holly Holm, the rear naked choke.
If you're holding on to a choke for that long, they probably know that they have enough air that they're not going to go out, and they're
working it out in their brain of what to do.
And especially because you're squeezing as tight as you can. Now your arms are going to be tired when you have to stand up and throw punches. If I'm in a submission that I know that isn't going to put me out, I'm not going to be super urgently trying to get out and then make a mistake to where it's tighter. So I think a lot goes in. Oh, he had him in a choke at the end of the round, and it's like, well, then he should have finished it. I'm not going to be like, oh, he won that round because he held the choke, and I don't know. It's weird. Scoring in MMA is also super
Yeah, Bo Nickel also with the rear naked choke too. You know, like
yeah, I mean, Bo Nickel, it's crazy to say, but like winning in the second round was like a bad performance for him. He's the most hyped MMA prospect in history. It's like his 7th fight, and he's fighting on UFC 300 pay-per-view among pretty much a champion in every other fight in the prelims, like on the main card over former champions.
It was
like
early in the second though that he handled Cody.
Yeah, but I mean, and Cody was his toughest opponent yet, and I think we're starting to see as the opponents rise, it's not going to be super easy for him. Mm-hmm. And yeah, Cody gave him a tough little battle, and Cody Brundage, that's a win for him getting into the second round. You know,
sure,
be the first guy to extend Bo Nickel, and now the UFC is going to like him for taking that fight. Just because a lot of people probably don't even want to sign the dotted line against Bo Nickel, like. I'm thinking that it's
sometimes, bro, when the big dog comes after you, it's good for you to just take the fight and then shake his hand at the end of it. Cough, J.Cole, cough. Sometimes you gotta just take the fight and you can still be friends afterwards. There's plenty of time for the kumbaya, but if you want to have the crown, you got to go get the crown.
Always an opportunity, and that's how Cody Brundage viewed it. I mean, it's
sure
it's going to be a super tough fight against anyone with his wrestling. He's an Olympic caliber wrestler. He won 4 national championships at Penn State. It's a super freak athlete.
He's dominant.
He can throw hands. He's definitely as heavy-handed still.
And he'll only get better as he continues to work with all these other guys. Like, and the exposure he's going to get now, working within the UFC, the things he has access to now, and he's the prize baby.
Yeah, sure he's basically like UConn. Like, you want to play him now because he's only going to get better.
Exactly.
That Danny Hurley's quote living on. But, I'll go over some of the other fights real quick, and then we'll keep it moving. Figueiredo taps Cody Garbrandt to start the card. 2 former champions, crazy. I believe the next fight was Jim Miller and Bobby Green. Got to shout out Jim Miller. Fought at UFC 100, UFC 200, and UFC 300. What a fucking legend. Bobby Green beat that ass, though. That was a brutal fight.
Yeah, that was unanimous for sure.
Obviously, you mentioned briefly Holly Holm welcoming Kayla Harrison to the cage. A long time coming for Kayla. Absolute monster. Was kind of shocked she made 135, to be honest. She hit the 136-pound, 1 pound allowance. I mean, she was fighting at 155 in the PFL. I think she fought at 145 once. She is massive. And if she can consistently make that cut and get to a title fight where you have to make championship weight, which is 135 exactly, and that pound does make a difference, people might think, 1 pound, like, of course you can. No, that 1 pound makes a difference.
Huge.
And she is absolutely massive. The women's bantamweight division, after Nunez leaving, Pena hasn't fought in a long time. They got Pennington in there as the champ now. It's kind of needed a lift, and Kayla Harrison's going to be that lift. I hope she gets right in there for the belt. I guess we talked about everything else, really. Aljo, obviously, a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, Rakic got defeated by Jiri.
Jiri Prochazka. That's what I was saying. He's a former champ, and like we were saying, the push for Bo Nickel, he's fighting on the prelims and Bo Nickel's on the main card. And Jiri Prochazka is a bad dude. Rakic, seems to be landing shots, but Jiri doesn't care. If you don't knock him out cold,
he's going to knock you out.
Swinging and knock you the fuck out. So you better bring your fucking A game.
Pack your lunch with Jiri. Good luck.
I guess the only person who put him out was Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira, like I said,
Alex Pereira is that dude right now. Let's be clear.
Strategy can't be stand up with Alex Pereira.
We're done there.
Unless they take him down, except for Adesanya. But even Adesanya lost 3 out of 4 times they fought, if you include kickboxing, standing up with Alex Pereira.
Adesanya is going to continue to lose against Pereira as Pereira continues to get into form. If Adesanya wants to come fight again, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I think Pereira's staying at 205. I think, if anything, he expressed interest to go up to heavyweight and try to keep that belt. Because he already got 185. He already got 205. He could be the first 3-belt champion in UFC history. But who knows? Tom Aspinall's a bad boy. But let's keep it going. Let's get into golf. Zach's got his fucking background up there, fucking dreaming about swinging his club.
Always, bro. Masters.
We all love majors.
I saw it on recording because I was actually playing while the Masters was on because of the time difference. So it's just how it has to be. But obviously, I caught up on everything and I saw I saw as much of it as possible. Another fold for our boy Colin Morikawa, which we'll get to in a second, started the day I believe he was even with Scheffler, if I'm not mistaken. If not, maybe Scheffler was a stroke ahead, something within reach.
Yeah,
and
he was a stroke ahead.
They went opposite ways. Morikawa ended as a -4. Scheffler ended as the champion. So a lot of other really, really impressive performances, though, like just to go around a little bit, just to show some love to some people. First of all, Tiger Woods making the cut and even being able to play. Let's be clear about the amount of surgeries this guy's been through and how he has no business being able to swing a club right now.
I have a hot take. I don't want to fucking give Tiger fucking Woods flowers for making a cut. I get it.
No flowers for Tiger making the cut after back
21 consecutive or 20-something consecutive Masters cuts. It's awesome, But I'm not of the belief that, this is a win for Tiger making the cut.
Let's be clear. He finished last statistically of the players on Saturday. Dead last. Okay. Yeah. And by 2 strokes last. So let's be clear. He shot an 82 on round 3. That's abysmal. Yeah. I'd be happy to shoot 82 anytime, anywhere, any place. I'm about a 6 personally, so that sounds like a great score.
Yeah, but you don't have 15 fucking major championships.
I know, but the thing with Tiger, though, is he's had how many surgeries in the past 2 years?
Like I said, I might be a hot take, but I'm not.
It's a heel take for sure.
I'm not even talking about Tiger Woods. He finished last.
Yeah, some other abysmal performances. Let's be clear, guys that are actually in form who shouldn't be finishing in these places. Brooks Koepka, real big letdown, +9. John Rahm, +9. Just really strange, to be honest. All of them finishing so low at such a big event. Matsuyama, +7. He's worn a green jacket before. Nice to see Bhatia in the tournament, +6, though. Not the greatest showing. Ricky Fowler, again, underwhelming.
I'm pretty sure there was some tampering with the live players. You got
maybe. A ton of them did not finish well.
I think
for sure. But there are plenty of PGA guys that are supposed to be touted, who are supposed to be guys that.
No, I know. I'm just joking.
Yeah. But you're preaching, though. There are a ton of live guys that did not finish well. But guys like Rory McIlroy finishing 22nd. Like,
you've gone too long without shouting out my favorite golfer. I'm a homosexual. Max Homa.
Big Max Homa. What a performance.
I give him credit. I bet $1 more each major because I think he's going to win one time. It's like +8,000.
He's got the game. Let's be clear. He's got the game, especially on tour in terms of ball striking and in terms of staying out of,
he putted like shit, but
that's a big problem,
I know. But I just think one day he's just going to find that, he's just going to have his putting one major and he's going to win. And I'm going to still have it. I like him. I've heard him in a lot of interviews. I just enjoy
it's a great finish. It's a great finish. He was vibing during the par 3. You could tell he was in a good headspace. He looked like he was
a really parver. He was parring everything.
He was parring everything, and he was having a good time. That's why I thought, actually, even though the curse is there, the guy that wins the par 3 has never won the Masters. I don't even think he's ever finished top 5. See Ricky Fowler finish +4, whatever. That's a little bit of a letdown. He looked like he was in good spirits. One guy that I was really shocked about, I want to mention, is Bryson DeChambeau. He looked great during the par 3, and then he comes out, takes the lead for the first and second day, shooting really well. Shot a 65 on round 1. It's unfucking believable at the Masters to shoot 65. Ridiculous. And he hasn't even been in form. He's another guy that went through some injuries and has been working on his swing. Like, he hasn't played every tournament. I don't think
we talked about it briefly off the air, but I do believe that those first round scores, Scheffler, DeChambeau, those are all the guys who played early and got out of there before the weather. And I do think that is a massive, massive advantage.
You mentioned that, and that's a fact.
One thing is obviously people having to play in the bad weather before it gets shut down for a longer amount of time, and then also having to play more holes in a single day where fatigue and stamina becomes a factor. And I know that people they play golf, how much stamina do you need? When you're playing at the highest of levels, every edge that you have is a massive edge because
absolutely.
So I think Scheffler getting that early start, Bryson is fucking.
Bryson's got all the ability in the world. He is a robot. Let's be clear. His swing and everything has been developed out of a machine. He's AI algorithm, all of the shit you love.
He used fucking 3D printed clubs or some shit.
Yes, he is weird. He is a weirdo when it comes to golf. I play, and I would tell you that what he does is not what you teach. Let's just be clear. And
no, but
the shit works. The shit works.
Well, everyone hated Bryson, and then he got jacked and got skinny. He's just a weird guy, but he's starting to come all the way back around to where I kind of like him.
He's a heel character. He's becoming babyface now, for sure.
He's taking that turn, and that's hard to do in golf. Golf usually golf fans are stubborn. Like they usually, when you would get that image of like someone that is disliked in golf, it's hard to shake normally.
For sure.
But it also works both ways with beloved. Like if you're beloved, like you're beloved no matter what. But
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. There are guys that I followed on tour my whole life and that I've always loved and I'll always love. There are guys on tour that I do not like, who I will never like, and it's just because I don't like them. And I don't know
name three random golfers you like.
That I like? Random?
Yeah, random.
All right, so going back, if we're going back to guys from back in the day as well, are we including that or just current golfers?
Any golfer.
All right, so Ernie Els is one guy.
Ernie Els was on mine. I swear to God. Ernie Els was on mine. I swear to God.
Amazing. That's awesome. Ernie Els is one of my favorite golfers ever. I actually went to his winery when I was volunteering in Africa, and he has all his trophies there. He's a G. I love Ernie Els. In my opinion, it's him over Gary Player as the best South African golfer. Hot take as fuck, but I don't care. That's my guy, Ernie.
Gary Player won way more majors.
Matt Fitzpatrick from the current tour, I like a lot. I love his game. I just think that he does a lot with a little. He's not a big guy, but he gets it fucking done, and he's won a major. I really like John Rahm's game. And then, of course, Scotty Scheffler. I like Scotty a lot. I know it's very it's babyface to take, but like, and he's very quintessential. But I like him a lot. And then Tony Finau is another guy that I like his vibe. He's about his family. He's about
like 11 guys. I said 3.
I had to give 4. That was 4. I think that was 4.
Yeah, that was 5, but it's okay.
I'll give you my 5 then. That's my 5 then. So Scheffler, Ernie,
Right, so Ernie Els was the first name that came to my mind. That's crazy you said that. That was awesome. I had Jim Furyk.
Jim Furyk is cool. Always cool swing. Another swing you don't teach.
And a guy who was repping at this Masters, Fred Couples.
Oh, wow. So people talk about Scotty being the best ball striker and iron player on tour, or Colin Morikawa being the best iron player on tour. Freddie was the guy for years, while Tiger was the man who was the best iron player on tour. So Freddie, love me some Freddie. Good vibes always.
Fred Couples fucking all. I think he's 62. Is playing because when you win the Masters, I think you get to play.
He's legit
or something like that. Like
absolutely. Once you win the Masters, you have admittance to go play there for the rest of your life.
Yeah, he has, so he could play every Masters. And I think what they say is like, if you start playing bad enough, they'll like send you a formal letter like requesting you don't play,
requesting you to pull out of the Masters and not play.
But you technically you could be like, "Fuck you, I'm playing," because I want.
Let's be clear about Freddie. He's still on tour.
Yeah. No, he played the Masters.
Whatever. Yeah.
No, he's good.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, those are my guys. Some other guys from back in the day that I liked. VJ, like remember, like watching with my dad.
I do like DJ. You know, he got Paulina. So
and then guys that don't like are fucking Sergio Garcia. I never liked.
Yeah, heel automatic. He's been a heel his entire life, and he's living off being a heel. Yes.
Who do I not like now? What's his face with the waggle? Brian Harmon, is that his name? Fucking
Brian Harmon's the guy that does the check.
Yeah, I can't stand that fucking little waggle shit. And
I'll
then,
be clear. You know what? Do you know why he does that though? I was talking to my fiance who plays now as well. I was talking to her about why he does that. Do you know why he does that? Because he's so fucking small, and he's trying to gear up. He's like gearing his body. You ever like stand over something you're about to hit, and you just like kind of are building and building and building all that momentum to try to exert it all onto the ball. That's what the fuck that guy does. He's like 5'5". He's the smallest guy ever, and he's also a weirdo.
Like a little Georgia Bulldog fan.
Yeah. He's a Georgia Bulldog. Fuck that guy. I agree. I've never.
I don't like him either. I don't care why he does this fucking thing. It's annoying. And then what was the?
If he wants to come on the show,
Who else plays super slow right now? There's another guy who plays so slow right now.
Slow? Who plays a slow player?
I gotta look it up.
Wyndham Clark. Wyndham Clark got caught on.
I actually like Wyndham Clark. So
I like Wyndham too, but you're just talking about slow players. He was always known to
just talk more about the majors. I'm going to look that up real quick.
So, I mean, I was just going to mention, actually, I literally just looked up what are the 4 majors left that we have this season, just in terms of schedule. So the next major that we have coming up, obviously, is the U.S. Open. The general order is always the same for non-golf fans. It's always the U.S. Open and the Open, which is it's called the Open. So anybody that says the Open is just shortened vernacular for the U.S. Open is a fucking idiot. You can't say that because there actually is another major called the Open Championship, which is the British Open technically, which is takes place in July, and it's over in the UK. And then you have the PGA Championship, which wraps the year. Usually the person that wins the PGA Championship will end up winning the FedEx Cup because the amount of points that are associated to that. people say the Masters is the Super Bowl. I could argue the PGA Championship is the Super Bowl, but neither here nor there. But the Masters, because of its acclaim and what it's become, and the green jacket and all of the bravado around it, it is the Super Bowl. But the PGA Championship is the most important major, you could argue, for sure, over the Masters.
Maybe I was thinking that Brian Harmon was the slow guy. I can't figure out. But either way, I actually like Wyndham Clark.
Me too, of course. And also his shit on Full Swing, all about the mental health that he worked through when his mother died, and how he got himself to be together mentally, and then he ended up winning the U.S. Open, ended up winning the Wells Fargo, and fucking changed his whole fucking life. And in that same year of finding that sports psychologist, this woman that he was working with who was helping him work through all that shit, and he became one of the best players on tour like that. Yeah. It's unbelievable. So we are Wyndham Clark fans.
Sponsored by BetterHelp. No, I'm just kidding.
Sponsored by BetterHelp.
No, but seriously, no, that is a great story, and I love to hear stuff like that. Sometimes before you can grow as a person, you need to ask for help. And it's I'm joking about BetterHelp, but I'm sure finding that sports psychologist, not only
he said he had one before who was fucking with him and he didn't and it was a male, and his team thought that he would do better with a female. So they found this female sports psychologist who ended up going to the tournaments with him. It was all shown on this show, Full Swing. Yeah. Shout out Full Swing. But
see it on
it was unbelievable how she would and then he hugged her after he won the U.S. Open, the Wells Fargo. You get bread for the Wells Fargo. That's not a major, but my God, $3 million for that.
Yeah, and he won another major. Who cares?
And he won, he's unbelievable. He finished top 5 at the PGA Championship.
Not only did he get out of his rut, he elevated,
and he's won a major now. He's competed top 5 in most of the tournaments that have been recent.
I have another Masters fun take. I think it's awesome that they make last year's Masters winner put the jacket on. John Rahm must have been so mad. He just shot +9. He almost missed the cut. Imagine if you miss the cut and you have to hang out for 2 days and can't go home.
John's unbelievable too. John has a crazy story. He had web feet when he was a kid, and he had to fix his whole footing and his whole stance in order to become a professional golfer. His story is nuts too, but we can talk about it another day. I don't want to get too off. I can talk about golf all day, as you can tell. But
just Master specific. Imagine we're going to.
I know it's awkward when
you go to the Super Bowl next year and the Chiefs the Chiefs lose, and it's fucking Patrick Mahomes has to
hand the trophy.
Put the ring on the finger of the
champion. Oh my God, CJ Stroud or something. Holy shit!
Well, imagine
it was somebody that beat them on their playoff run.
Oh, just anybody. Yeah, and it's just such a funny thing to me. I'm just imagine John Rahm is just he's probably fucking shooting fucking +9 on the last hole. I gotta fucking put Scotty Scheffler's fucking jacket on. He's just in his head this fucking sucks.
Bro.
I just
think to be clear, Rahm clears Scotty in his brain because Rahm took out Scotty in the heads up at the Ryder Cup in the summer last year.
Yeah.
So they did the singles, and it was Rahm versus Scotty, 1 versus 1. Europe versus the USA, and Rahm took him. Oh no, they halved. Sorry, I'm fucking up. They halved. He didn't beat him. Rahm's dying there. You're right. Rahm's dying there.
There's no. I mean, he could be I won it last year.
You're right though. They halved. He didn't even take him. I was. But Europe won.
But just the idea of just any competitor being now I have to fucking put the jacket on. It's such a weird image. Right? I think it's funny.
But it's the lore. It's the lore.
Any other Master shout out? Shout out to my boy Max Homa again. He fucking got me close to hitting a fucking nice bet, but.
And then shout out to the kid that I forget who it is. Who
played Ripley? I think
Tiger and
Ripley, I believe his name is. Yeah, I think Ripley.
That was super cool.
I think he had his buddy caddying for him, which is cool.
His buddy, he has one of his buddies.
Caddy was 20 years old and no shit about golf.
With him, that's fucking ghetto. Yeah. Awesome. And there was another guy that was paired with Rahm. I'm trying to think of his name. But he was the U.S. Amateur of the Year, the number 1 player, 2021 and 2023. And he ended up winning a major tournament as the first amateur ever to win a professional tournament as an amateur, which gave him a bid to the Masters. He ended up not doing well as far as I know, but
I really badly want to have the take that Charlie Woods is going to be a bust, but I just
no chance.
He's so fucking good.
He'll be filthy.
It's
And
gonna be so fucking
no,
good.
it's ridiculous. Some of the videos on YouTube, if you want to see some sick shit, just type in Charlie Woods onto YouTube if you really want to see shit. And it's crazy. Him hitting a hybrid like 250 down the seam of a fairway, like just absolutely like fake shit, like stupid shit.
I've seen him do some wild shit.
It'll be ridiculous.
Yeah,
but I wanna keep it moving here, bro, for sure. I want to get to one of our favorite segments for everyone. I think that wraps the Masters. Congrats to Scotty on his second Masters green jacket. Obviously, we got a lot of love for Scotty, so congrats to him. And he's the #1 player in the world. That's where we're at.
All right, let me play some music. I'll be right back.
Hell yeah! I'll let everyone cruise into our Hotz
segment of the year.
First Hotz Corner. Here we are. Nice. I feel like an interior decorator or something. Little pine cones or whatever the fuck on your center. Like an Airbnb.
I fucking love this song, man. Fucking love this song. Brings back such good memories.
Hell yeah. I was just commentating on your living room.
Oh, yeah.
We'll hear it at a later date, I suppose.
I have like
I was just talking to myself, like, what the fuck is this living room?
I have
like,
74 less books than you.
I was like, are those pine cones on the middle of your table there, right there, behind your head? Right there.
I don't know. We talked about at the beginning, but this is not my house. It's the brightest background we could find. We're going to get it all figured out. Don't worry about it.
Hell yeah.
Megan. All right, you ready, bro?
Welcome to the Hotz Corner. Light up, do whatever you got to do. Pour yourself a drink. This is one of our favorite segments.
Light up.
Rapid fire questions. You have to give a this or that answer quick. I'm in the Hotz Corner tonight, so Hotz is feeding the questions.
Yeah, just a quick answer in general. They're all going to be closed-ended. I got a bunch written down here. We're going to have some fun with it. We're going to talk sports. We're going to talk everything. All right,
we'll go through some of the answers if we feel like we need to address some things.
Of course, we always recap it. We always recap.
Gotta recap a little bit.
All right, we're gonna get it started. All right, no legal ramifications involved. Would you close fist punch a 10-year-old boy for $8,409?
No legal round. A boy? Yes.
If you had to join the military, what branch are you joining?
I mean, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. So I would probably try to do the Marines.
John Stockton or Jason Kidd?
I mean, this is not going to be popular, but I would go with Jason Kidd.
Who would win in a fight, a silverback gorilla or a polar bear?
Silverback gorilla or polar bear? The gorilla.
Better Yankee, Paul O'Neill or Bernie Williams?
Bernie Williams.
Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson right now?
Justin Jefferson.
Ace King suited.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that one-handed catch is just.
Ace King suited or pocket jacks?
Give me the pocket jack.
Biggest female athlete crush?
Biggest female athlete crush is what you said?
Yes, correct. You knew what I said.
I'm just confirming. Pass.
Big L or Big Pun?
Big L, clear.
School of Rock or Wedding Crashers?
Wow. The kid in me is saying School of Rock. The adult in me is saying Wedding Crashers. This is a tough one. Wow. I'm going to go with Wedding Crashers. This is Christopher Walken.
All right, back to the biggest female athlete crush because there's only one more left after that.
I'm gonna say Morgan.
Alex Morgan.
Alex Morgan. That's
Soccer
her.
player. I was like Morgan. I figured it out though, so I guess it wasn't that bad. All right, last question. Would you rather go 1 round with Gervonta Davis in a boxing match, 1 round with Gervonta Davis in a boxing match, or go through 5 tackling drills with Derrick Henry?
Five, you said, for Derek?
Yeah, 5 tackling circuits.
I would do the tackling drills, and I would just shell on them and sell on them, and just go straight down for his legs and let him hurdle me.
All right, we got to let's get right into it. Turn the music off. We got to discuss.
I'll lower the music.
These are some good answers here. Some good answers here. So the very first one we went with.
Good question.
Better track of this.
Shout out to the first Hotz corner. Good questions, Hotz. Good shit.
Thank you. The closed fist punching a 10-year-old boy for 8,000.
Yeah, I mean, if there's no illegal ramifications,
Yeah.
I'm probably punching a lot of people. Let's be clear. Forget the 10-year-old. Like, yeah, I'll add him to the list, but I would do a lot of. I would do a lot of fucking crazy shit if someone's in my way or something.
$8,409. 10-year-old boy, you could. And I mean, you can't pull the punch. It has to be a full-blown, full-power shot. You can't be like, oh, I just boop him for $8,500. You know what I mean? That's obvious. Like, you could kill a 10-year-old boy with a full weight.
Yeah, that's all.
Maybe you couldn't.
I probably couldn't. I'm a golfer. I probably not.
Nah. But I mean, all right.
No, I mean, I'm a 6-foot person, though. Let's be clear. I'm not.
It's a 10-year-old boy. If you punch
a 10-year-old boy, I'd probably hurt the kid pretty severely.
Yeah, you break their bones in their face at least. I don't know if I could do it. That's a good amount of money though. You make it like
money though to make
it.
You
make it $15K and it's a no-brainer.
Oh yeah, we're getting into the double digits.
Yeah. Nah, but
I snapped on it just because you said no legal ramifications. I'm like, all right, whatever.
The kid will be fine eventually. Most likely,
exactly. And if he's not fine, then that sucks. But I get my money and there's no legal ramifications.
You never have to think about it again.
Exactly.
Gotta block it out. No trauma from it.
Right. I don't think so. Unless he's dead. Dead trauma.
Yeah. That's the only trauma. But you get $8,400. You can help with the funeral.
But I would do a lot of things for $8,500 if it meant that I might die.
Well, 8409.
8409.
Don't forget the $91. But all right. After that, we went. What if you had to join the military? What branch are you joining? You went Army, which is respectable.
No, I went with Marines. I said Marines.
Oh, Marines. Excuse me. Marines, even more respectable.
Yeah,
I think I would have been like Coast Guard, like.
Yeah.
I'll be
I mean, if I had to do it, I would want to be in the shit. I would want to be with the smartest people doing the smartest shit. Now, I'm not saying I would be.
To be fair, I think the Air Force.
I could be in the intelligence part of the Marines. That would interest me.
All right, fair
the
enough.
Operations and the shit that those guys do, that would interest me.
All right, I know. I'm gonna go over ones that we definitely did. I'm gonna scroll through. Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson right now.
Yeah, so I just went with age as well as just like in general, Justin Jefferson, just a body type, physical freak. Like he's a little bit more freaky than Tyreek. Tyreek is a burner, but with that catch against the Bills in the comeback Minnesota against Buffalo, that one-handed catch will live in infamy. It had no business being caught.
Yeah, no, that's what you stressed at the time. We'll try to real quick, but remembered it was rapid fire. But yeah, I think I agree with you. Tyreek Hill, as freaky as he is, Justin Jefferson's a little more freaky. No dig. Yeah. Moving on.
Justin Jefferson had like 900 yards in like 8 games or something like that. Something stupid, like 6, like something dumb.
Yeah, I'll take Jefferson too. Better Yankee, Paul O'Neill or Bernie Williams? You were quick.
This is easy. That's easy.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with Paul O'Neill also. Paul O'Neill is just fucking cool, man. I don't even like the Yankees, but I just like baseball.
No, I went with Bernie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe in my head I just was so Paul O'Neill.
I went with Bernie. So for a multitude of reasons, to be clear, Paul O'Neill, attitude-wise, locker room guy, for sure, guy you want in your clubhouse. But Bernie, to me, was switch hitter, more consistent playoff player, like one of the best playoff player on the Yankees, those Yankees teams. Paul O'Neill's regular season stats might clear. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But Bernie in the playoffs clears. I don't have to look that up.
Well, I wanted to stress like better Yankee, not necessarily better baseball player, because I think Bernie Williams takes better baseball player. But I just thought Paul O'Neill, like the way he played, like he was like clean cut, but also
and
like,
he also lived with the Yankees and announced for the Yankees.
and
like
was he not a captain before Jeter? Did I make that up in my head?
No. The captain before Jeter was Thurman Munson.
That was the only other captain because he was dead
And then
long
Judge,
before Jeter played.
Yeah, it's been Munson, Jeter, Judge.
Wow, I didn't know. I thought they had a captain consistently. I didn't know that. That's good.
No. In Yankees history, there's only been Yankee captains. List of New York Yankee captains. Here we go.
There you go.
Aaron Judge, Derek. Don Mattingly. I forgot about him.
Mattingly, yeah.
Mattingly was a captain. Guidry was a captain. So there was no captain from 2014 to 2016. No captain from 88 to 92.
Yeah, I was going to say between Mattingly and Jeter, there must have been that. Oh no, 92. Who was the captain in 92 to 96?
92 was Willie Randolph. Was the captain 75 to 92, and then there was no captain past 1995 until Jeter. So Jeter was named 96.
So from 92 to 95, there was no captain.
Right.
Okay.
No, there was. No. Don Mattingly was the captain, 92.
Okay. That makes sense.
There are gaps, though. It's hard to read the way they read it because there was some overlap with some of the captains. There were captains on the same team, multiple captains on the same team, is what I'm reading here. So Ron Guidry and Willie Randolph were captains together. Second base and pitcher.
All right. Moving on. We got Ace King.
There's only been a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 captains in the Yankee history. Okay.
Yeah, so close to 3. Ace King or Pocket Jack?
I said 3 in the last since Thurman Munson. That's what I said, which was wrong.
Ace King or Pocket Jack? Ace King suited or Pocket Jacks, I should say. I could poker nerd out on you all day, talk about spots, situations, stack sizes, but in a vacuum, I have to go with the Ace King.
Really?
Mathematically, the Pocket Jacks are slightly ahead.
Right, because it's a confirmed pair.
If I have the Ace King, though, I just know if that Ace or King does come out, that third Jack likelihood is it's so light.
And also, third Jack is about to catch you with your pants down with that King or that.
But I'm talking about an all-in situation, pre-flop, Ace King or Pocket Jacks, which I didn't elaborate on, to be fair. But
in a vacuum, then.
Yeah, in a vacuum, as long I'm saying playing them, I'm at the table. Unless a Jack comes out, I know till that 5th card, I have a good chance of hitting an Ace or a King. Whereas if you have the Jacks and you see that Ace in the window, and you're now I have 2 outs, and I bet you 2 of these fuckers folded a Jack, and I'm just sitting here waiting to go home. I want to have the high cards. In a normal flip, I would prefer Ace King.
Yeah.
Even though mathematically the Jacks are slightly ahead, 54%, but I just mathematically in a vacuum you should say Pocket Jacks, but
nah, I can't do it. I can't turn away a pair.
Yeah, no, that's true. And Ace King is just a drawing hand at the end of the day.
Drawing hand at the end of the day. I'll take the confirmed pair and
then the Jack comes out in the window, and then it's a 10 and a Queen, and you're fucking got the straight Broadway.
Or just lay to the straight, just 8 and
fucking dead.
Pause. But yeah, I would go with the Jacks. Yeah.
Yeah. Either one is pretty good. Jacks,
I would take either hand. I'll take either hand.
Yeah, for sure. Pre-flop, 3-bet.
Facts.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Biggest female athlete crush. Or I think I might have skipped Torrey Hunter or Darren Erstad. I can't even remember if I said that now.
You skipped that, but it's Hunter.
Okay.
Darren Erstad, better angel. Torrey Hunter, better player.
Oh, fair, for sure. Darren Erstad had that fun little run, but Torrey Hunter, I guess, in the long run, he had more power.
Hunter was also he was on some other teams and shit. Hunter was an unbelievable defender, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what it comes out to. He's one of the best Gold Glove center fielders. Not quite Griffey.
He clears legends from a fielding perspective. So
yeah, I think he's probably 5 Gold Gloves, something like that. He's not quite the Griffey.
He has more than that. Really? That's it?
I don't think his run was that long, and center field is tough to compete in.
It is, yeah.
I would say 5, but I could definitely.
5 is your guess? I'm going to say 7. All right, I'm looking up right now. Torrey Hunter.
Basically just fucking prices righted me.
9-time Gold Glover. I told you, bro. Yeah.
Fair enough. That's a good number. 9 is a lot. Almost 10.
9's a lot. I'm telling you, he clears, like I said, the sentence I just said, which was not a hot take. He clears a lot of legends from a defensive perspective in center. Facts.
You know who's got 10 Gold Gloves already? Arenado, and he's like 32.
Yeah, I mean, he clears another guy that clears a lot of legends.
No, but I was like surprised. I was like, yo, he's definitely going to get to 10 Gold Gloves, and then I looked it up, and he
might be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's got 320 something home runs coming into this year.
Yeah, he's right there. He's right there.
Sure.
He'll get a call, I'm sure.
All right, female athlete crush. You know, Alex Morgan, very good answer. I was thinking more younger because that's the word crush, and Anna Kournikova is like all time for me. Fucking growing up.
Yeah, that's a good one. Candace Parker in her prime was hot. Skylar Diggins was hot.
Skylar Diggins was another one I was going to honorable mention.
She was hot and good. That's what made her hot. Who else?
I just keep coming back to Anna Kournikova in my head. So hot.
Yeah, if only she was good. Like she had a little bit, but she was not a good tennis player. Not a pro.
She was a pro.
She was a pro.
Yeah,
and then a swimsuit model, and then not a pro.
Yeah.
And then a pro at other things.
Paige. This has been a big golf episode.
She's a pro at being hot. That's what she's been a pro for 40 years, whatever it is, 50 years. She's a pro.
I'm a big Paige guy. It's been a big golf episode.
Oh,
Paige Spiranac.
Yeah, she's cute. I like Lindsey Vonn, the snowboarder, as well. If we're talking about side sports, like I was just talking about the big sports. Like I was trying to think of WNBA or soccer.
Say that name again.
Lindsey Vonn.
Lindsey Vonn's good. You know. Who was I thinking? I just lost it for a second. Oh man, you were saying soccer players. The goalie, Hope Solo. She's not like bad.
Yeah,
like,
she had a run,
but she had like a little bad girl thing going on.
She had a run. Yeah, she was a little chirper and shit. Yeah, she had that whole thing going. She has a pretty face. She's cute.
I mean, I almost like it like. For me, like crushing on girls, like sometimes it becomes like a too high level. Like I don't like, let's say like the two girls who played for Miami last year, the twins, the Academy.
Yeah.
It's like too much. It's like
you, but like
when you get like, it's almost like when your thing. I guess like you were saying, almost with Kournikova, and I think
if I start looking at those girls that way, I'll stop looking at them for the shit that we're supposed to be looking at them for is the problem. So the moment I open my brain up to the idea that Alex Morgan isn't a sick soccer player and she's just a baddie on the field, then I'm not even appreciating that Alex Morgan is a sick soccer player anymore. I'm just watching her like, damn, yeah, she's so hot. There goes my wife. Like, no, bro. Like,
you can
that's how a lot of guys be though with like female athletes. Let's be clear.
You think you can't? You can compartmentalize though. I don't.
For adults like us, perhaps, but there are a lot of guys that are just like, yeah, turn it on. Let's watch fucking Alex Morgan to watch Alex.
And
Morgan.
you think girls don't watch guys play sports and do the same shit? It's fucking life.
But there's a lot of guys that watch guys that are not watching guys though.
Yeah, that's very true. I can't argue with that. But I'm saying there's not a lot of girls watching guys who aren't thinking that.
Yeah, I think the ratio would probably lean towards the guys are watching girls sports looking for the Haley.
This is like the classic like girls like sex. This is like the classic like girls like sex too argument. You know what I mean? Like girls
of course,
like sex. You know what I mean? Like
guys are animalic creatures of and they are
we're more focused on it
human than female. If anybody would love to enter the like come have a seat at the table of the adults. If we want to have
you're just like eloquently saying men are hornier in general.
Right.
Yeah, that's
rawfully hornier. To be clear,
I don't know.
There's less fencing. With women, there's fencing before they allow themselves, I feel like, to feel those types of things towards men because it usually comes with emotion. With guys, there's like not even a fence.
When they watch fencing,
it's the U.S.'s current immigration policy. That's what it is right now when it comes to guys and women.
When they watch fencing, that's what really gets them going. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. There is no fence, is the point.
There is no.
It just either enters and it exits.
The last question. All right, we'll move on because this is going crazy.
Hilarious.
Yeah, men are hornier than women. We'll close with that. But
all right, so for the future, I guess we're gonna then for the future title episodes post then.
One round with Gervonta Davis or 5 tackling circuits with Derrick Henry. You answered wrong for the record.
No,
you answered completely wrong.
You're
dead. You're dead. No, you're dead. Derrick Henry, you have a broken neck. You have a concussion. You have CTE the rest of your life.
I'm not riding.
dude.
Derrick Henry, if I was going for a tackle, I would just throw myself at his legs and just pray he doesn't step on
and he'd
me.
knee you in the fucking head, and your head would snap back like a fucking Pez dispenser, and you'd have a broken neck, and you die. What do you mean? You're like, oh, just
What the fuck do you think is going to happen with Gervonta Davis?
you cover up, you block. He's 135.
Cover up, dude. I'm dead in that
Your
read.
body shots, you're gonna hurt. You'll be sore for a few days. You just cover up, dude. Against fucking Derrick Henry coming full speed in an Oklahoma drill, you're getting up off your back. By the time you're on one knee, he's already running you over, fucking killing you, not taking it easy on you. This is like
Gervonta Davis gets one good lick. It's a rat for it's Pampers for the rest of my life. Pampers.
I think I would rather take the one big shot from Gervonta
I'll
Davis.
survive the football. I know football at least. I can at least understand.
You don't know football if you think you're just gonna fucking die with Derrick Henry's legs, and it's gonna be a fine time for you. You're gonna die, dude.
I'm not saying either are enjoyable. I'm
Derrick
saying Derrick
Henry's thigh weighs as much as
You know what I'm
Gervonta.
saying? I can like throw myself out, like so my
You
whole
can-
body's out, and I'm just trying to like have.
If you were fighting Tank, you could sprint around the ring for 3 minutes. Like you have a better chance of avoiding Tank in a fight than you do in a tackling circuit with Derrick Henry. Or you have to try to tackle him.
I could probably just run away from the tackle too.
But that's not completing the circuit. Like I guess.
I know, but you're talking about running away. If we're talking about running away,
But people actually run away in boxing matches. Like that happens. If you're like in a football practice, like no one like goes up. Oh, it's Derrick Henry. Runs away.
Right. Fair enough.
But no, I don't know. I'll take my chances with the guy who's half the size. I know he's throwing punches versus.
I would just run away. I would just like try to half-ass the tackle and try to.
I
knock
swear
him.
to God, if it was me and Tank and I just had to survive around, I'd just sprint. I'd just be like, yo, fucking run one way, run the other way. Like, I'm not going to be like, yeah, let's fucking rumble, Tank. You know what I'm trying to say?
I can imagine what you're saying. Like literally, like.
Yeah. Just, yeah, exactly.
Oh, you want to go Tank? You want to go that way?
Yeah. Like whichever
You
way.
go over here, and then you just go and hug him.
Yeah.
And then the
I'm
ref
just gonna
breaks it
run
up.
away, dude. I'm gonna run along the ropes. I'm gonna do back.
Jump on his back. The ref calls a warning.
I'm gonna like roll around on the ground. The ref warns me one time, whatever,
Yeah, just like immediately go down, use the 10-second clock, get up. Are you good? Yeah, I'm good, bro.
Yeah, if he even hits me with a soft punch on the arm, I'll take the knockdown.
Okay. After describing it a little bit,
Yeah.
I'm starting to lean towards your way. I can understand where you're coming from a little bit, but with the way that you're talking about deking and like getting away, but that's probably what I would do with Derrick Henry. To be clear, is the same kind of premise.
No, Derrick Henry would find you.
Derrick Henry is a raven.
I know that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun times. But speaking of Gervonta Davis, one of his former opponents is unfortunately finding his way into the verbal flop conversation. So
wow. I don't think anybody wants to hear that the verbal flop is gonna come back to the new season of Row 26. But we're here, and we're here to catch all of you.
I don't know why I did that double finger gun.
You just double finger gun us?
Yeah, the double finger gun.
That's gonna be the whatever you call that, the wash mark, whatever the fuck cover of
the beer of the episode. If we're allowed to show, I don't know. I'll just say it.
Sponsored by Fiji Water.
Voodoo Ranger Tropic Force.
Just like Niagara Falls.
Voodoo Ranger Tropic Force Tropical IPA is the beer of the episode.
Sounds fruity.
It's pretty good. It's fucking strong though. I don't think I looked at the percentage.
Shout out Jay Dilla. Rest in peace.
Oh, hell yeah, donuts.
Verbal flops are crazy. Just so you guys know, for all you newbies out there, what a verbal flop is somebody in sports that says some dumb shit, whether they're caught on a hot mic, whether they're caught in an interview, whether they're caught at their mom's house, whether they're caught at their girl's house. If we hear it and it's in the news and we catch it, we're gonna ice you out. Sorry, you got caught. It's the verbal flop.
Yeah, so Tank Davis' former opponent, Ryan Garcia.
Here we go. Oh my God.
Young guy, he had a lot going for him, but man, he is slipping up. This tweet is insane. If you hadn't seen it, there was some contact at a press event between Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, pushing, shoving, kind of some normal boxing shit. This is Ryan Garcia's tweet from his official account.
Oh my God.
Devin touched me without my consent. I'm suing him for putting his hands on me. And I identify as a woman. So he touched me as a grown man and hit a grown woman. And I'm LGBTQ+, so now it's a hate crime. Nah, this is so fucked up. With about a dozen rainbow emojis.
What?
And he's just been doing all kinds of weird stuff. They were on their little GQ interview shoot, and he did a little freestyle.
Wait, is that the picture that I saw of him all in that white outfit?
Yeah, that's him doing the freestyle. And he goes something along the lines of, I'm paraphrasing. I don't want to play the tweet.
He said, I'm a female?
No, that was in the tweet.
Did he say I'm a female? Did I catch that right? I'm a woman?
Yeah. And he touched me as a grown man and hit a grown woman. And I'm LGBTQ+, so now it's a hate crime.
So he said so he's claiming to be a woman, and that the person that hit him hit a LGBTQ representative who's now claiming to be a woman. So he technically hit a woman.
He hit a woman, and it's a hate crime, he said. And
this
also,
is where we're at in society. This is where we're at.
This is a GQ interview. He was like,
what conversation you want to have right now, John? You want to talk about Ryan's quotes right there and how crazy he sounds a little bit?
I got to tell you the other thing he was saying. He was in a GQ interview. This is all filmed, so this is even like tweeting or twittering.
Okay.
He was like, he's just like, I'm wearing all white. Yeah, I'm out of sight. Here at GQ, looking so nice. And everyone's just like,
he did that on his live stream?
No, it's just on a GQ official interview with him and Devin Haney, a sit-down interview.
Oh, okay. It's on YouTube or it's on some kind of...
I sent you the link on it's on Twitter. I sent you the link.
All right,
but it wouldn't even make it in like your college freestyle wasted at 3 a.m. at night. People would be laughing at him. And Devin Haney just goes, I don't know how seriously Ryan's taking the fight. That was his reaction to it. It was just... I mean, Ryan Garcia had a lot of promise, but I don't know if it was the Tank Davis weight cut / beatdown. I think he's struggling right now. I think he might have some stuff going on. I got a friend who's laying hefty sums of money on him getting knocked out, even though Devin Haney hasn't knocked anyone out in a long time. Just thinking that Ryan Garcia is just not all there. I don't know. This could just be a crazy troll job, though. A troll job gone wrong. He's just trying to get attention. Or he might be toast, but he's only like 25.
For the record, that's crazy. That's a crazy way to troll your opponent.
Yeah, I don't know.
If that's what his goal was there, if that's what the move was there from his camp, to put that tweet out and make it seem like it's a gender versus gender crime or something, or some kind of slap in the face of a what a crime would be from a male hitting a female type shit. And he's trying to wear that on the back of the LGBTQ movement.
I don't know what's going on. It's a verbal flop for a reason. I wish my man the best. I hope he's all right. I shouldn't even say my man. I might get in trouble or something like that. What's going on right now?
Listen, Ryan, figure it out, bro. I don't know about these comments. If you're trolling, that's the wrong way to troll, and you're going to have an army of LGBTQ people for real that are going to fuck you up. And that's
now you kind of have to win. If he's a big underdog.
If you lose after all this, you're finished.
He's gonna lose probably. I don't know if he's gonna get knocked out, but I don't see him winning.
Your brand is cooked if he loses.
Cooked. I hope he manages money well.
Good luck to you. I mean, that's crazy comments to make, and then think that you're gonna be able to kind of keep your head locked in what the shitstorm that you're probably getting for making those comments.
Doing all sorts of dances on social media. He's been super weird.
You have to answer questions in future interviews.
I feel bad calling him out now because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, maybe he's like going through something.
But if he's going through something and this is legitimate, and I'm here for it then.
Yeah.
But I need more than a tweet. There's too much of this too. People make fucking comments, and there's not even a paper trail of nothing that no one said anything about. It's just one comment, and now we're all supposed to change our stances or start feeling bad or like whatever, and not automatically react to what seems like bullshit.
Yeah, I think he's probably just thinking that this is going to stir up headlines.
When it comes to Twitter, it's bullshit until proven otherwise. Period.
So you're guilty until proven innocent.
That's it. When it comes to Twitter, that's the name of the game. But
I guess and to be fair, it's always been like that in the press. Before it was social media, it was print media, or even online media before social media.
It's bullshit until it's proven right.
Yeah. You never got the benefit of the doubt in the press.
Which can be a dangerous game when you get into other stuff because there's things that happen behind doors that you'll never see and you'll only hear about. And so the proof that you need in order for you to get the opinion, we can have that conversation until we're blue in the face. But there was one more verbal flop that we need to talk about.
But lastly, Devin Haney by decision.
Oh, wow.
Parlay or bet it straight, whatever you want to do.
Throw it in. When's that? When did they match up, Ryan and Devin Haney?
It's a good question. I don't know the answer. I got to look it up real quick.
While you're looking up the date, I'll give the fans another verbal flop. Zach Johnson. I'm sorry, I got to go back to golf. This is stupid. At the Masters, at patrons, he was getting chirped at probably by somebody. Someone said something, and he looked up after picking up his putt, after picking up his ball after his putt, looked up at the patrons and said, "Oh, fuck you," is what he got caught saying. It's clear as day. You can tell he said it. He then denied it when he could have just wore it and said, "Yeah, I got out of my element. I just felt like, people were chirping at me. So it was a loose moment and I'm sorry for that." And blah, blah. He could have just wore it. It was like so clear as day. And the other thing about Zach is that it sucks to shit on another Zach since I'm a Zach and we like to stick together usually as Zachs. But my man's not holding up the end of the bargain as being a Zach. Because he fucked up during the Ryder Cup. They lost to Europe. He was the captain, and he should have chose Keegan Bradley based on how Keegan Bradley was playing at the time, and he chose his best friend, Justin Thomas. I'm aware Justin Thomas won, but he still should have chose Keegan Bradley. That was the correct move based on rankings and how Bradley
was dissension among the team that led to their defeat.
There was dissension among the team, and I think that Scotty came to play, and there were a few other guys that came. Ricky played decent, but Justin Thomas ended up playing well in his singles and whatever. But
you know what, the Ryder Cup,
Zach Johnson being the leader is clearly a problem. And now you add this, you had the finish at the Masters, which was dog shit. He's not even a relevant player anymore. Like, I feel like there needs to be a new someone new in there, and not Tiger, not Zach, but someone else.
You hit the nail on the head there when you said he's not a relevant player anymore. I think that's like exactly what it is. And he's definitely not leader material based on what we're hearing. And then on top of that, you know what the Ryder Cup team needs. It's the boy. It's Max Homa to bring him home, to make everybody happy.
Honestly, but he's going to be there next year for sure, strictly off of his play, especially if he continues to improve the way he finished at the Masters. He's going to be there. There are going to be guys.
He is in there. I'll be at Long Island. I will go. If Max Homa is on the Ryder Cup team, I will go.
Yeah, I mean, that's legit. We should definitely look into that. Absolutely. Maybe do a little Row 26 special from where the Ryder Cup is or whatever the fuck. If Homa makes
Long Island, I don't remember where, but yeah. And the fight's Saturday. I thought it was, but I didn't want to pull the trigger and be wrong. But the fight is Saturday between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. So
wow, same day as the Knicks. That's crazy.
Same day as the Knicks.
Crazy. All right, well, let's get into our final segment here. We're gonna get into victory formation. We hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. We're back at it. We got some good topics, as you see. If you have any suggestions or whatever, throw it in the comments. But yeah, we're chilling.
I took some time off just to see the world. Island hopping in my Jordan 4s, box logo tee, Bermuda shorts, clean resorts full of tan women, cooler filled cold bottles in them, stretched out
they had a mile.
My seventh heaven is some miles away, but I'll just sit here, American dream.
The way she appeared when you see the video is going to be hilarious. It was just like basically a side cut of her face and like just her eye looking at the camera.
I know. I was like, I kept moving closer. She still wasn't coming up.
It was almost like, fuck you want with the look.
We're doing our best. Look at my sick ass fire face.
Safe on this island. All my thoughts are locked away safe on this island. A treasure full of diamonds.
Welcome back to the boys. The Hotz Heads, the Dreamers. What a moment. Day one of day two. Page one of chapter 2.
Nice, bro. I love recording, to be honest. It's like having like a place, an outlet, just to talk that talk about the current shit and just like shoot the shit, and
Yeah, no,
sharp ends.
good release.
I like keeping my verbal chops sharp, just being able to talk in general, and like being able to like keep that banter going.
Verbal chops have never been sharp.
That's true. That's why I'm here, though. Constant improvement.
I think we picked good shirts, too. We gotta think. I'm like already thinking about my next shirt.
I mean, I'm in a Knicks mood all week until Saturday. I'm in a Knicks mood. That's where I'm at. I'm
just
happy
might have me
coming home
feeling
this weekend, by the way. So
No.
nice.
I was gonna ask you earlier. I gotta see if I can get up there.
I'm playing golf with KC, D'Lo, and Rob on Sunday in Pearl River. I think Rotella is.
Maybe I'll meet you after or something if I can get up there. But
Hell yeah. Well, that'll be
don't hold
Sunday.
your breath.
Yeah. No. Let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I might just wake up early, get a workout, and just drive up there and just spend the day.
Cool. But let's get into victory formation here. Let's start talking about some of the great things that have been happening and inside and outside of sports.
I think that was the first time in history people made plans on a podcast. That was our victory formation.
Audited. If we get audited for this is a genuine thing and like we weren't just popping out of the ground or whatever, they can now go back and see that we actually know each other and this is not.
That was our win. That's our victory formation. Let's get into who else is winning.
Facts. We could talk about that boy. We could talk about the boy. We talk about Drake right now and how he's winning this stupid battle between Kendrick and J.Cole and all these idiots who don't know how to do anything clearly, which is actually talk about hip hop. I feel like we're at this place now with hip hop music, and we in general. It's like I know a lot of underground hip hop guys, some of the legends, obviously, but also some current guys that are really unbelievable, like Ransom or Conway or whatever, and Benny and all these guys or whatever, maybe Flea Lord, all these new type of rappers. I listen to a lot of these guys because I still like hip hop, but in general right now, there is no mainstream hip hop anymore. We only have Cole, Kendrick, and Drake. Is there anybody else that's in mainstream hip hop right now?
I mean, I've listened to.
No one listens to it even anymore, right? No one listens to any of the main new shit. The way music is ingested now, it's like beats, like lo-fi hip-hop beats that you get, or like progressive rock or progressive house that you listen to for a certain thing, like driving or working out or whatever. But like, and you make playlists and you're getting suggested songs in your face all day long, and all these indie artists that are being signed by all these whatever, Spotify, whatever. Like, but in terms of like the elite of like hip-hop right now, there's only like 3 guys left. And one of them just said, I don't want to beef. One of them just like apologized on stage after putting a diss song out and said, I don't want to beef, and has no interest in beefing with what he says is his friend.
So what are the odds that all of this was all previously negotiated, down to the apology, down to the taking it off Spotify? This is all just a fabricated thing between the 3 of them to try to generate
Drake's in on it, you're saying.
Storyline. Yeah, everybody's.
I was actually buying what you were saying in terms of J. Cole and Kendrick being in on it.
Yeah. No, I think all 3 of them. Like, we act like J. Cole and Drake didn't just make a hit song within the last 6 months, a year.
Where J. Cole literally says, we're the big 3,
Top
J.
3,
Cole,
exactly.
and me. Or excuse me, Drake, Kendrick, and me.
Yeah,
the big 3, I'm Muhammad Ali, whatever the fuck it says.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't that good of a song, to be fair.
It wasn't that good of a song.
But,
it was J. Cole's first number 1 single, courtesy of Drake again.
Yeah, I mean, I love, and let's just circle back real quick. J. Cole is my favorite of the 3. J. Cole is one of my favorite rappers.
For most people nowadays, absolutely.
Yeah, I listen to J. Cole the most out of the 3 of them. Then Drake, right. And then very little Kendrick. And I actually really like Drake too, to be fair. I fucked with Drake since So Far Gone mixtape fucking way back.
And he goes before that, and he's,
Kendrick, I think you're a bigger fan of than me. I never really was a big Kendrick Lamar guy. And I think a lot of that is just my biases of like, I'm a big East Coast guy. You know, I don't love his.
Like a lot of East Coast people do not like Kendrick.
I don't like Kendrick's flow. I think his like aura is different than like what I line up with. I think he's very like, even like thinking about it in my head, I just think like like I don't think like a da 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 da. He's not smooth. Yeah. He's not smooth. He doesn't have a smooth flow. His flow is like jarring to me. I don't know.
Okay, so
either way,
with Kendrick, I would say if I was ranking the three of them for hip hop, like strict hip hop. Yeah, I mean, you can make
where else would you rank them in?
Make an argument that Kendrick. Well, you can just say music and Drake wins.
Oh, okay.
Then we just don't have a conversation.
Sing a little bit.
Well, Drake does a lot of different shit. He does the fucking.
J. Cole, I don't know. I don't think
J. Cole's one lane. J. Cole's here to me.
Nah, J. Cole's like, I ain't afraid to tell you that I cry sometimes about it. Like, you know, he has some soul.
Yeah,
he has straight line rapper.
J. Cole is the soulful one of the three of them. Kendrick is the weirdo one.
Oh, I mean,
Drake is the mainstream one.
J. Cole's like, my brother got in trouble with the law, and yeah, that shit cut me.
J. Cole has cuts. Hellman's Dreams, stuff off Section 80, like smoke good, eat good, live good. Like he has stuff that is classically hip hop. The way
and I'm biased that I just like that stuff. Like, I'm just saying to say that like he's not like musical. I think is short sighted. Like, I think if you were like J. Cole, take a piano, he'll learn how to play it. Like, you know, I think
for sure. I think J. Cole is trying to be everyone's friend and he's all kumbaya. I think Kendrick comes from the old school because he was signed by Eminem and Dr. Dre and he knows what this shit is about. And I feel like Drake is from the Lil Wayne camp and he knows what this shit about and he's been tried before.
Drake is from Degrassi. He's an actor. Like he also can play roles. Like
he also can play a role. He also can, and Drake has had beefs with a lot of people. So
I think J. Cole
is just not the guy here.
Here's my wrap it up right here. J. Cole is the smartest. Kendrick's the weirdest. And Drake is the most talented. That's how I would summarize it.
That's interesting. Yeah, Kendrick is definitely the weirdest. I will be interested to see if Kendrick responds to whatever this track is that came out by Drake. But as of right now, Drake is running it because he threw J. Cole across the room like he was a little doll and then owned Kendrick and his whole camp and said he was like 5'0" and he was like he had a size 7 shoe and all this shit. He was fucking whatever. So Drake's up right now.
Big on that. He's even when he was younger, talk about the other Canada rappers. He would like talk about how they're short and shit like that.
Also, Drake, in terms of putting out product, let's just also put a bow on it. Like Kendrick has no albums. Like Kendrick puts out one album every 4 years, and Drake is putting out shit all the fucking time.
Drake said in a diss like years before he even got big, he's like, "Listen here, Mr. Tetley T, you look like one of the 7 dwarfs standing next to me." Like he always been on that you little shit. Like
like kind of big body people, but he's not even that big.
Yeah, he's tall enough that he can get away with making. Once you hit 6, you can make fun of shorter than 6, pretty much.
I guess.
No, it's the thing. I'm telling you, as an under 6 person.
I'm a 6 person, but I'm on the line.
You're 5'11" and 3/4.
This is not what I want to hear. This is not what I want to hear.
Yeah,
how do you know I'm 5'11" and 3/4? You weren't there.
I have eyes.
No, I'm 6.
You're 6 exactly. Maybe I don't even know. 6 with.
It says on my license 6. That's all that matters. So.
Oh, that's all that matters. Fucking, I'm 5'11".
Fair enough. But what's the other?
I used to say I was 6 when I was single.
What's the other victory formation that you had?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. We got to talk about my girl Caitlin Clark. Had the Iowa future.
Caitlin Clark.
K.DOT
Clark. Oh,
the guy
she's
from
your girl now. She's not my girl as well. I can't like her.
Did you have a future on her for $50 for Iowa to win the national championship plus 900?
That's true. All right, Caitlin.
I rock with her. I do have a Caitlin Clark shirt that says "From the Logo."
Wow, I do not. All right, you are definitely the bigger fan.
I have a picture of me printing out the bet slip.
I don't regret challenging your fanhood just now. I don't regret it. Just to find all that out, I don't regret it at all.
No, I had the picture of me holding the future. It was a good time. It was a fun bet. I tell people about it. I lost the bet but I will always remember this Iowa Hawkeyes team. Like, there's going to be a trivia question 15 years from now in the future.
For sure.
Like, name 3 of Caitlin Clark's Iowa teammates, and I'll be like, Hannah Stolke, Gabby Douglas. Give me that.
Stolke was good. Yeah, their team was
Kate
cool.
Martin all day.
Yeah, Martin was so good. Yeah, Kate Martin, mad good. Really good game. Yeah, Caitlin was unbelievable.
But I love
some of the shots that she made off these screens where she really has it's like a push 3.
I had so much fun. My friend Cruz, I got to shout out. My friend Cruz said this. He pointed out perfectly. He said she shoots like a guy. And I couldn't, her release, everything. You see women shoot, and this isn't a slight. They're way better shooters than I'll ever be. And the women's college game this year was as exciting as the men's. A lot of them shoot from the shoulder.
Not more exciting.
If not more exciting. A lot of them shoot from the shoulder like this. Caitlin Clark shoots from here.
She's up here with it. It's almost like this flick. It reminds me of not Josh Hart literally, but kind of that little flick in front of your head motion thing. That they both have a similar thing. I'm trying to think of a more famous person that people maybe would think about with that type of form. Think of anybody famous that shoots from right here over the face like that. She has that though. You're right. What you just said is correct. The man thing and how men shoot and get it up to there.
Like Nick Van Exel from the free throw line.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. Nick was a lefty though, but he was same kind of form.
Yeah, like that little angled elbow.
A little angled flick.
Yeah. No, but but speaking of Caitlin Clark, she sold out her jerseys in record time. I think it's a Fanatics record. I'm not going to say all rookies record. I can't verify that.
I imagine so.
Fanatics record at least.
She went to the Indiana Storm. Is that correct?
Indiana Fever.
I
was saying that her parents should have pulled Archie Manning and gotten to a better market, but I think it doesn't really matter for her.
She's in a great market.
Indiana, you think?
Mm-hmm. It's a good basketball town. They have all these basketball, the Pacers always have had their loyal fans.
Indiana basketball is legit.
And they're in the playoffs, the Pacers too. Her and Halliburton will be advertised the fuck.
But as big of a star as she is, wouldn't you want her to be in an LA, a New York, a Phoenix, a Chicago, a sport town?
I also feel like sometimes with the WNBA that it's a little bit easier to make a bigger story in the smaller town, in a way, because there's so many stories when you go to places like California or New York, bigger things.
Competition for the spotlight.
Competition, Caitlin Clark is the only thing within a 300-mile radius that's fucking. When you're in New York, Aaron Rodgers arrives for fucking off-season workouts and everyone's nutting.
Al Antonio moves into the fucking. Red Roof Inn by the nearest.
Yeah. Eli Manning releases a fucking podcast. Everyone loses their shit. It's stupid shit.
You're right. That makes a lot of sense. I guess you're right. It doesn't really matter where she plays. She's transcendent at this point.
It's over. Since current age.
Everyone's up in arms about the details of the contract coming out. Mm-hmm. I think we all know that the WNBA isn't her necessarily career. It's a platform for her to get eyes to build her personal brand, where she's going to make money from endorsements. She'll make a ton of money playing overseas, and that.
What's stopping her from playing with the men?
She couldn't compete with men.
College? You don't think so at all?
No chance. Men?
She's just too small.
Look, I'll put it like this,
Serena Williams once said this. She said she would lose. Serena Williams made the craziest quote once. She was like, "I'm the best. I have 18 majors, whatever. If I played on the men's side, I would never win anything." Something like that.
Leah Thomas, I don't care about whatever. I'm not going to get into that. She was the 400 when she was a man, identified as a man, she was a 462nd ranked swimmer. She went over, transitioned, became a woman. She won every race she was in by a significant margin, the number one woman by far. It's just a genetically bone structure, whatever you want to say.
Right. The reason I say Clark though specifically, and you know what I'm about to say right now, is they don't pressure the ball anymore in the NBA. First of all, it's a very screen and go game. It's very touch foul-y. And she's a knockdown shooter off dribble too.
This is This
It's
is
insane. It's an insane take. I'm just playing devil's advocate to the conversation here for all those people out there.
As soon as she touched the ball, any NBA guard, the last guard on the bench, could take the ball from her, playing defense on her without letting her get a shot up.
Yeah, that's probably where it ends right there. Yeah. And he's the best. And for the record, that guy is the best college player, probably would be the player of the year in college. That end of the bench guy in the NBA.
Of course.
The trickle down is the trickle down. So just so everyone knows, because there's G League and all these other things that would allow even other players that would be those guys too.
Just to put a hypothetical that could maybe provide some clarity here. If you take a 16 seed in the NCAA tournament and you put Giannis Antetokounmpo on that team, they're making the Final Four. Easy, and probably winning the championship.
Winning.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, even guys a few years removed from college in the NBA who are very good players.
If you took Joe Johnson right now, wherever he is, ISO Joe.
Well, that's why even they were saying with the big three, they offered Caitlin Clark $5 million. Why wouldn't she take that? Because guys,
what are your thoughts on that whole thing with Ice Cube?
Guys like Nate Robinson, they would dog Caitlin Clark. Even washed up
Nate
NBA.
Robinson's a beast.
I don't know. I saw
these guys
there before. I don't watch the big three. I'm not going to. I know Nate Robinson was in it before. I know Rashad McCants was in it before. I'm just late.
Good players to go through there.
Players, that play in it now. Like, she would get dogged, and that's nothing against her. She just doesn't.
No.
She's amazing. Like I said, I enjoyed watching her play as much as any college basketball player, male or female, this year. She's electric, and I cheered for her. Like I said, I bought merch. Like, I didn't buy any men's college basketball player merch this year. I almost bought
ridiculous. She is ridiculous. This is why I'm having this conversation, just to put it to bed.
But she won. She was the number 1 overall pick. She sold all her jerseys. I don't know if she gets a percentage of that or not. Hopefully she does or something. But she's going to get paid. She's going to make a lot of money. And she already made, I think, $3 million at Iowa this past year in NIL. She's doing all right. And I wish her nothing but the best. I hope she cooks in the WNBA. Continues to build the sport. And with that being said, I think we're going to shut it down for the night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go, baby. We're back. Sixers, we're here.
This is spring training.
We're working out the funks, working out the kinks, trying to figure it out. But just hang with us. I'm sure we'll have a smoother platform with more smoother topics and shit like that. But if you have any things you want to add, please throw it in the comments section.
Yeah, comments. Bro
26.
Man. Good night.
Talk to you soon. Good night.
Good night and good luck to the fans.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
We'll go Knicks.
Ooh.